Hi, and welcome to my Capstone Symposium presentation. My name is Malia Page, and I am with the Program on the Environment. The title of my poster is Exploring Future Possibilities, Reusable Isolation Gowns at Harborview. This summer, I interned with UW Medicine Harborview Medical Center to analyze the life cycle impact and feasibility of adopting sustainable isolation gown alternatives. My work is important because the US and global healthcare sectors generate enormous amounts of greenhouse gas emissions and waste. Not only is this damaging to the environment, but it also contributes directly to global health burdens. A major environmental challenge is the heavy dependence on single-use plastics, which significantly contribute to emissions and waste. Even sustainability-focused institutions such as UW Medicine rely on single-use products like plastic isolation gowns, despite the enormous environmental costs. Thus, this project explores the environmental benefit as well as the cost and logistical feasibility of switching from plastic to reusable isolation gowns. See the photo on the right for an example of the reusable gown alternative. My primary research question was, what are the benefits and challenges of switching from plastic to reusable or compostable isolation gowns at Harborview Medical Center? To answer this, I completed four main tasks. First, I conducted a screening life cycle analysis, or LCA, comparing the environmental impact of plastic, compostable, and reusable gowns. An LCA assesses environmental impacts from raw material extraction to end-of-life disposal. Next, I performed a feasibility and impact study focused on reusable gown adoption. I analyzed operational, technical, financial, and regulatory feasibility, as well as environmental, clinical, financial, and stakeholder impacts. To inform my analysis, I interviewed key stakeholders, including clinical teams, infection prevention and control, and the linen department. Finally, I conducted supplementary literature reviews on LCAs and hospital experiences with alternative gowns. Moving on to my results. My research identified three key benefits of reusable gown adoption, which are shown in Figure 3. Proven environmental impact reduction, preferred by clinical teams, and supply chain resiliency. First, the life cycle analysis showed that reusable gowns have the lowest climate impact of all three gown types. In the graph on the right, reusable gowns have by far the lowest global warming potential, measured in kilograms of carbon dioxide equivalent emissions. They were also environmentally superior across all other impact categories measured. These findings aligned with peer-reviewed LCA research. Second, there's strong clinical support for reusable gowns. Many nurse managers describe them as being much more breathable and comfortable, especially during hot and busy conditions. Clinical teams also supported reusable gowns because sustainability is widely valued across UW Medicine. For example, the burn and pediatric trauma ICU nurse manager, when interviewed about reusable gowns, described her team's passion for sustainability and her support for reusable isolation gowns by stating, I think everyone on this unit is aware of how much waste we make, and we talk about it a lot. It stresses everyone out, but there just hasn't been a lot of alternatives, obviously. So I think any way we could reduce our waste would be great. Third, the vendor selling reusable gowns has positioned reusable textiles as a strategic supply chain solution. Literature confirms this. Reusable gowns drive circularity while strengthening supply chain resilience. Despite these benefits, my research identified three main barriers. As seen in Figure 3, these barriers are infection prevention and control concerns, storage and space constraints, and net cost increase for conversion. First, infection and prevention control raise concerns about the low barrier protection level of reusable gowns. Reusable gowns are rated as level 2 and should only be worn during low and minimal risk tasks, while the plastic gowns currently used are level 4, which are the highest level available. This raises infection risk concerns. Second, there are storage space constraints. Reusable gowns are bulkier and require additional linen carts, but clean utility closets and linen supply rooms are already extremely limited in space, as can be seen in Figure 2 on the left. Finally, a financial analysis performed by supply chain determined that there would be a net cost increase of about $117,000 for full conversion to reusable gowns. Based on these benefits and challenges, my study recommends the following next steps. The most practical option is to implement a mixed gown system where reusable gowns are used for minimal and low risk tasks, while plastic gowns are reserved for moderate and high risk tasks. My study identified strong piloting opportunities, including the burn and trauma units, the outpatient operating rooms, 4 and 7 MB as recommended by the Environmental Services Unit, and the operating room nurse circulators because of their minimal direct patient contact. To overcome the space barrier, design consideration should be included in the planning and construction of the new hospital tower in order to accommodate a mixed or full reusable gown system. And when implementing reusable gowns, it will be very important to ensure the program fits into existing workflows, to involve infection prevention and control at every step, and to educate staff on risk and gown selection. Ultimately, Harborview has the opportunity to boost sustainability while managing infection risk, cost, and space. By integrating reusable gowns into operations in a way that keeps staff and patients safe and productive, Harborview can reduce its environmental footprint, please end users, promote environmental public health, and create resilient supply chains. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I would like to sincerely thank my supervisor, Gabriella Henkels, as well as my faculty advisor, Dr. Yanchu Wang, for their exceptional advice, support, and guidance. And I would also like to thank my family and friends for all of their love and encouragement. Thank you.